Welcome to Sober.Coffee, a weekly coffee chat sharing experience, strength, and hope for anyone on the sober road to recovery. You can download Sober.Coffee weekly on all podcast platforms and check us out on Instagram at Sober.Coffee Podcast and on Twitter at SoberCoffeePod. To learn more about us and to help support these sessions, visit online at Sober.Coffee. Here are your hosts, two guys on their own path to recovery, Mike and Glenn. Let's join them at the coffee shop.
Two guys and a girl.
Yeah, I love it.
Yep,
I love it. I love it. I
girl.
love being here. So super cool little session we're going to have here today. I'll let you tee it up as always, but I just want to jump in quick and chat about Boiled Al Coffee Roasting Company.
Oh, we've had them on the podcast
Totally
before.
have. Totally have.
They're
But
not a sponsor.
They're not.
We don't do sponsors.
We don't take money.
We do sponsors, but that's another segment.
We do AA sponsors.
That's right.
No, but we don't take any money from anybody.
No.
That's been something that we've said from the beginning.
Nor do we push product for capital gain. We just push this product because it's a great product.
Because it's good shit, right?
Yeah, it's good shit.
So
You should be on their marketing team.
yeah, Steve. It's good
Boil
shit.
Al, it's good shit.
Right. So Stevie, I've known him, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. He's a best sober missionary, one of the best I've ever met.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a
rock star.
33-year nonprofit sober living in
Yeah.
Chicago, helped thousands
Top
of executives achieve long-term sobriety. Average length of stay is 11.9 months,
It's crazy.
which is so rare in
Yeah.
sober living.
Yeah.
It's normally 3 weeks. But he is just an amazing guy. I actually work with him. You work with him.
Yeah.
I do some work with him. But he makes this as a side gig. He roasts his own coffee, kind of like a small batch, right?
Right, exactly.
Small batch coffee, and it's amazing. It's Boiled Al. Hang on a second. Let me make sure I get it right. BoiledAlCoffee.com.
Okay, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, BoiledOutCoffee.com. We have some bags here. We got some. I'm actually drinking coffee from my Boiled Out coffee mug this morning. So if you want some great coffee, we've given some away before.
Yeah, we have.
I'm sure we'll do that again. So
Yeah.
I'll shut up.
Okay, thank you. So we've got we're mobile this morning. We're coming to you live from Frankfort, Illinois. Frankfort or Mokina?
We are in Frankfurt.
We're in Frankfurt, and we are at a retreat hosted by it's an AA Al-Anon retreat with our special chair host of Karen, and Karen's joining us. And just a little backstory: this is the 11th time Karen has been on the podcast. So
I almost
we
spit
should-
my coffee out. I can't.
Some-
11
I thought
times.
it was like
Yeah, you've been on-
5 or
Holy
4.
crap.
You've been on 10 times, and
This should be the Mikey, Glenn, and Karen show.
I know that's what I'm saying.
That's awesome.
Or Glenn and Karen. I mean, I know when the exit
Yeah, but
sign
you're
is
the funny
lit.
one.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, you better not negotiate your contract too hard next year, or you will be gone. And it'll
right.
be the Karen and Glenn show.
That's
Hey,
right.
I'm available.
All right, good.
I'll
good.
step right in, Glenn.
Yeah, people
That's
love
awesome.
to hear. It's funny when we started the podcast out years ago, and we said this before, but Glenn's wife Jen said, okay, two guys talking about recovery all the time. That sounds a bit monotonous. Can you maybe get a softer touch? And now I'm going to say Karen, but bringing a softer female touch so people can relate.
Jen said
And we're-
that.
Yeah.
She yelled at me.
And we're like, okay, that's probably a good idea. So we started having Karen on as guests, and we're great friends. And anyway, glad to have you back again.
great
for the
to be
11th
back.
time. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the retreat that we're at this weekend, and how it all started, and how you ended up kind of chairing this, and then tell us a little bit about the experience.
All right. So this is I've been on a lot of AA retreats, probably 20 in my time
And what do
in
you
the
have,
program.
about 6 weeks sober? Or?
Yeah, 6 weeks. 28 years. It was 28 years in March.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you. So I've been on a lot
honestly, as I look at you, what were you, 3 when you went into recovery?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I was 32 because I
32.
just turned a big 6-0 not too long ago. But it started. I've been on a lot of retreats, and this Mokina, our fellowship, had done a retreat, and I was there for the day. It was great. I couldn't spend the night. I couldn't be there the whole weekend, but it was wonderful. Well, the gentleman who was running it, super great guy, Patrick.
Ding, 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 ding.
Super great guy. So Patrick's saying, hey, we need someone to take over the retreat because he moved out of state. And he's like, we need someone to take over, but nobody's stepping up. And I'm just like, someone else is going to do this. I'm not doing. I am busy. I have
yeah,
grandkids.
you don't know
I
Karen,
work a
right,
lot. I
right.
play golf a lot. Like I
That's
don't
right.
have
You got a
time.
life.
I'm not running this retreat. This is ridiculous. I'll send my money on time and I'll show up. So
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
Sometimes you have
So then
excellence
after-
thrust upon you.
so then I'm running this retreat. But really, it was people weren't stepping up. For different reasons. People have things going on in their lives, and I get it. I'm pretty organized. Paperwork doesn't faze me. So I said, you know what? I'll do it. I'll do it this year. And I said, I let them know 3 times. This is for this year only.
Yeah. How's that working out, too?
You know what? I definitely will do it again. It
Yeah,
was
good
fantastic.
for
It was a
you.
great
Good for you.
experience for me, and I think everybody's having a good time.
Yeah. So what's the
So-
theme? What was the theme
so
of the
the
retreat?
theme
How
we
did-
came
how
up
did you
with-
come about that? Yeah.
Well, I came up with the theme, which is this retreat is the seeds we sowed.
Mm-hmm.
I came up with the theme because page 62 is my favorite page in the big book, where it talks about selfishness and self-centeredness, and we step on the toes of our fellows and they retaliate seemingly unprovoked. And no, I don't have a book in front
I
of me.
know, that was pretty
But it's
impressive.
my favorite page in the book, and it says that if something's going on in my life, it's a result of something that I did at some earlier point in my life. So in the margin of my big book, it says, "It's your fault, asshole." Like I just need to
Pretty
be remembered.
straightforward. I love
it.
Yes,
I love it.
exactly.
Yeah.
It says it's your
Wait,
fault.
did you write that or did your husband write that in there?
I wrote that.
Okay.
It's at the suggestion of someone else.
Okay.
It just says it's your fault, asshole. So I like that. I like to be reminded that whatever I have going on in my life is a result of something that I've done, good or bad. And so, like we talked about, we talked so far this weekend about one person talked about what it was like, and she shared, when this is what she was doing, these were the seeds she was sowing. This is what she was getting.
It makes sense.
Right? If you're
You put marigolds in the ground, you're going to end up with a marigold.
well, yeah. If you put out drunken, selfish foolishness,
You're not
You
going to
know,
end up with marigolds.
you're going to get drunken, selfish
That's
results. You're going to get divorced, and you're going to get poor, and you're going to get, you're going to be
Incarcerated.
unemployable. Yes. So jails, institutions, and death. Right.
Yeah.
And then we did a session. Glenn did our session and was 100% prepared. I was blown away at when he called me.
Mr. Off the Cuff
When he
guy,
calls
all of a
me and
sudden
says, "Do you have
came
a
in."
table? Can I have a table next to the podium for my props?"
It's got props. Yeah.
I'm like, "What? The props are what we give you after you do a good job. What do you mean, my props?" So are you
brought my
bringing
own.
a boat? Are you bringing a plane? What prop? What kind of prop? I've never been, thousands of meetings in my life. I don't know that I've ever seen props. So that was wonderful. But and Glenn talked about what happened, which is what are we doing to change things. So the seeds that we're sowing, like the soil is the program, and the community is the fertilizer. Our fellowship is a fertilizer.
And the sun?
Higher power.
I would say, oh yeah, the sun was a higher power.
Yep. And the watering can
the
was
sponsor was a watering can.
Was the sponsor.
So I love that. I loved how you tied that in. Today, our friend Lynn is going to talk about what it's like now.
And we're going to have her on
Amazing.
either before or after this.
Amazing.
We got an episode with
Really?
her on it. Yeah, it's great.
Promises
Yep.
on.
Coming true.
So I got to marry them.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I flew down to Florida and said their wedding.
That is amazing.
It was really fun.
Thank you, Reverend.
After they were calling me Reverend. After their like 5-week engagement,
Yeah.
I opened up with, "I can't believe we're finally here after all this time."
That's awesome.
But anyway,
So
so we'll talk
so
today
seeds
about
we-
what
seeds
what
we
seeds
sow.
are we
Yeah,
sowing
right.
now to get the life that we're living today. So today is the lift them up part before you send them home.
Right,
Can't
right.
send them home all dejected and, oh my God, I messed everything up.
Have you had a chance, because you're kind of administrative, but have you had a chance to sit like you sat in and listen to Glenn's? Tell me kind of the impact that the retreat has had on you always, because we hope that this episode will compel people to go take time out of their life and go to a retreat.
Well, I'm definitely a participant. I'm not
Good.
just a facilitator.
Good.
So here's how a retreat works generally for people that don't know or haven't been to a retreat, a recovery retreat. Usually the first session, which is Saturday morning or Friday night, or sometimes Friday night's a meet and greet, and then it starts Saturday. But if you start Saturday, the first session is usually a what it was like speaker. And then after that, you break out into a small group. maybe 4, 5, 6 people, and you all discuss what they talked about, and then that same what it was like for you. Mm-hmm. And then after lunch, we usually do a second speaker, which is what happened. There's a lot of mini meetings in between. We had the benefit of a guided meditation yesterday, which was beautiful. We did a prayer service last night, and it's optional. There was maybe 10 of us there. Mm-hmm. We just prayed out loud, and then we agreed to pray for the other people's intentions too for the next couple of days. It can't hurt to have too many people, to have extra people praying for what I'm praying for, right? And then we did a bonfire meeting last night.
Hey, tucked in the middle, there was an ice cream social.
We did
don't
forget
about the ice cream. With
One thing about
chocolate
retreats, man,
That's
you
right.
got to have food.
Gotta
Good
have
food, good
right.
snacks.
I go home from retreat. I probably won't eat now till Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I cannot even believe what I've eaten in the last 24 hours. Yeah. I mean, I've had 4 meals and then 2 snack meals in 24 hours. That's more than I eat in 3 days usually. But then after that, there's a lot of little mini meetings. There's hikes, there's walks, there's a nature. There's a lot of optional things too, that you can participate in. I think the best part about retreat, number one, you're getting away from the stress of daily life, and you get to kind of reconnect with yourself, your higher power, and your commitment to recovery. Mm-hmm. Number two, it's nice to meet new people because I've never been on a retreat where I knew
like-minded people.
Absolutely. I mean, I've never been in a meeting or on a retreat where I knew everyone. So I always go home with some new friends. Number 3, if you have kids and stuff, no kids are like, mama, mama, mama. Mm-hmm. No, not that my kid yells mama, mama anymore.
Well, grandma.
Now they say grandma, grandma. So, but it's nice to just have a break and focus on yourself and give yourself the gift of that time. Yeah. A lot of people make excuses. A lot of people were invited to this retreat, and it's just I have so much going on, and I'm so busy. And I mean, it's literally 8 o'clock to so it's 30 hours. It's not even days and days
of me time, which is important, right?
So let me just jump in. So Karen, I've got 5, 6 guys I work with, and so I took the retreat flyer, right? And you can take the temperature, right, of what's important to these guys now, right? Mm-hmm. And they have good times of sobriety, right? But as we know, you got to stay at it, right? So there was one quasi good reason, and the rest were, deprioritized it. Right?
That's not for me.
The one guy, it's his birthday weekend. Right.
So,
and I'm like,
what better birthday gift?
Right, we got ice cream.
I'm like, and I'm thinking in my head, dude, if you don't get your ass there, you may not see your next birthday.
Well, what are you, 7?
Right.
What? It's my birthday.
It's my birthday
weekend.
Be a freaking
pony? What are you, 6? Come on.
Who has a
right. Are you guys going to the water park?
So you sit there and you just listen to the reasons, and I feel sorry for him.
There, by the grace of God, go I.
I really feel sorry for him.
I got to have a beautiful weekend.
Well, we had last night, just a quick, we had last night and at the bonfire we had a meeting.
I missed the bonfire.
It was great.
Yeah, we had an impromptu meeting.
One gentleman who had a walker couldn't get through the grass because it was rough terrain.
Right.
Rough terrain, yeah.
And brilliant Lynn says, hey, can't we just drive him? So I had my keys in my pocket. I gave her my car keys. She brought the car over in the grass and picked him up. She picked him up on the sidewalk and drove him to the bonfire.
That's awesome.
And then I prayed the whole way when she was driving back in the dark, in between trees and cars,
That's awesome.
hoping that she didn't wreck my car.
But this young lady shared last night that she was just proud she made it, and it just hit me so hard because you're right. I had a choice for this weekend as well, and I could have made up a million excuses.
We all have choices every single day. Do you want to prioritize sobriety,
right,
or do you want to take the easier, softer way,
right?
And we know
it's working for
collectively.
Me. Yes, prioritizing works for me,
and we also know what the easier, softer way gets.
That's right. Yeah,
It's a simple decision.
They're missing out on a lot of value. So we did the countdown. So the people in the retreat this weekend have, I think the longest sobriety is 32 years.
Wow.
37.
Oh, 37. I'm sorry. That's right. It was 37.
Right.
Yes.
Who was that?
37.
Susan, okay.
And then we had 32. We had a 28. And then, just tons of. So all collectively, there was 200, and it went all the way down to 4 months.
Isn't that great?
'Cause that gal was late yesterday.
Yeah.
She got here late. That's why she was so proud of herself, because
Right.
I was texting her all day.
Who was
going,
4
"Come on."
months?
The
gal left
Rachel
from
that
last night,
came
yeah.
late. That came later yesterday, and so I kept texting her, and she's like, "I'm coming, I'm working." And she was working on a commitment for an event that was at the
Yep.
club last night. So kudos to her.
Yeah.
But anyway, collectively we had 286 years, 11 months, and 26 days of sobriety between us. Wow.
That's amazing.
That's a lot of sobriety.
And for retreats, it doesn't matter. I've been to retreats. Big Joe, like his first retreat, he showed up drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, he was going through.
Well, so did our
He was going
engineer
through
this morning,
DTs,
but that's another story.
Yeah. He was going through DTs, and no, Brian's not paying attention.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Come as you are, you will. It doesn't matter if you're
We'll meet you where you are.
Karen. You're a goddess. That's awesome.
We'll meet you where you are.
Karen's always got the right words.
So what do you hope that people take away from a retreat? I mean, I guess that's a load of quick, because here's what I find. There are, like in the small group breakouts that I was in yesterday, I mean, the nuggets of information that you get, it's like, wow, I aspire to live that way. I need to work on that area. What do you hope they walk away rested, refreshed, rejuvenated? What do you?
A little bit of both. Or all three, actually. I've done some personal growth work where you start Friday at noon, you go home Sunday at 5 o'clock, and then I have to take Monday off because I am just spent. That's like really deep. I didn't want to do that to people. There's other retreats I've been on that were nothing but fun.
Yeah.
I mean, great to get away, and it was fun, but there was really no work
growth.
done.
Yeah.
I didn't want that either. So I was looking for something in between. I do believe that the majority of the work is going to happen in your small group or your own personal reflective time after. And we did, by design, I built in reflective time to spend, intending for you to spend it by yourself, either journaling or writing or reflecting, whatever. And then we had social time. We had the ice cream social. We had a fellowship walk. We had a bonfire meeting. And then we ended up having a couple of impromptu meetings as well.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
So I tried to separate like personal reflective time and then social time.
Perfect balance. And first of all, I can't thank you enough. I've thanked you many times already, but the work you put in organizing this and being the administrator, I know it takes a lot. I just want to give you some direct feedback here live. Those breakouts were probably the most impactful.
That's it.
And I can't figure out why. I've been to a lot of retreats. I've been to a lot of breakouts. A lot of people just walk through them, go through the motions. I can't tell you what it was. Both of mine were so deep. I'm getting chills. So deep, so impactful, such a connection, and people being. I had a couple of people being really raw with where they were at.
Yeah, we had a little of that too, and
we
I
did
was
too.
kind of
Chills,
blown
man.
away.
That's
And then today, you have a different small group.
Right.
We switched up the small groups. You'll have a couple of the same people, but we switched them up today, and that's to give people the opportunity to meet and get to know more people a little more
Beauty of it,
intimately.
too.
So I like that. I like that idea too. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to ask in our survey if people like switching small groups or would have preferred to stay with the same one throughout. So
I think it's good to switch up.
Yeah, so I think that Glenn does 26, 27, 28 things a year, a day, a week, a month.
26.
This is one of the things that you do.
I go to one retreat a year.
Yeah, and
I just missed my men's one,
well,
Right.
then next year
So
you're going to
now
have to go to
you're
two.
so I came to this. I have no problem with that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I have-
It's
I
just
have
such
no
a
problem with
valuable. It's such a valuable reset for me. It's a reset, and
But for me, it's a commitment.
yeah, it
Right.
is.
For me, it's a commitment. I got a couple things going on in my life, and I said, you know what? This is my number one priority. And I did take 20 minutes yesterday. I'm negotiating a deal, and I was back and forth with the guy and touched base with him
Thank you.
for 20 minutes. Right? You're welcome. But it was it's like birthday weekend. Come on.
Yeah,
right?
right.
I mean, what are you signing up for?
Did you call them out on it?
I did.
Do you
By
say,
the
what are
way,
you, nuts?
if he's listening, I just want to throw out a happy birthday to him.
And I know he listens.
Well, yeah, happy birthday. I mean, we would have celebrated. We would have had a
Absolutely.
cake.
Absolutely.
We would have had a cake. You know, I would have had those fun hats.
It would have been
I mean,
amazing.
it would have been great.
You know, people vote with their decisions.
So, Karen, what do you want to leave the listeners with today?
I want them to know, anybody who's especially newer in recovery, you've got to give yourself the time and the space. Because if you don't, it's really tough. It's really tough to get rolling sometimes in the beginning. And I want people to understand, this is not just, I go to a meeting. I mean, I spend time working on my recovery. I spend time in my journal. I spend time writing things. When there's a situation, I write about it. I write, what did I do well here? What could I have done differently here? What might I try next time? You know, I or at least I think about those situations, even if I don't always get to write them. So I think I want people to understand that, you know, we need to take the time to invest in recovery. It is more than just going to meetings. Mm-hmm. It's more than just going to meetings. We have to put the time in. And retreat is a fabulous way to do it. I think if everybody goes on a retreat at least once a year, and they're fun and they're cheap.
Oh my gosh!
I couldn't go get a hotel room for what I spent here for the weekend at all the meals.
Oh my gosh!
And all the
it's
people
incredible.
and all this entertainment. Believe me, there was some entertainment.
Yeah, right.
Awesome.
So I just think it's fantastic. And if you've not done it, don't knock it. The other thing is, when you're on a retreat, there is no pressure to do anything you don't want to do. If there's a prayer service and you don't want to be part of it,
Kind
then
of with
don't
AA.
go.
There's
Yes.
no
If you're in a
pressure.
small group and you don't feel like sharing in your small group,
Don't share.
I just don't
No
have anything to
judgment
share.
zone.
Right. So you can come, get all the benefits, and you can just come and suck it all up without
Yep.
putting anything out there. I can't see that happening once someone got here, though. You could
I
you
agree.
could come here intending to, but I don't think it would happen.
Suck
But
it up, Sally.
I just think everybody should give it a whirl. I'm really glad you guys were here this weekend.
Yeah, thanks, Audio
this has
Hive,
been
for
very
coming out
fun.
and plugging in for us.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
awesome.
great. Yeah.
I love having the mobile studio.
mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Next time we record, can we do it here, because this is closer to my house than your studio.
Yes, ma'am.
This is closer to my house than the coffee shop.
We'll just
so.
Brian will just come to your house.
Oh, can you do that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, great.
That's awesome.
Great.
Thans, Karen.
All right,
right,
guys,
thanks, Karen.
have a
Have an
great
awesome
day.
sister.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's coffee chat. To contact the show, email us at podcast@sober.coffee. If you need immediate help, the AA hotline is 800-839-1686. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. Remember, Mike and Glenn are sharing their own journey on the path to recovery. Any suggestions, medical or otherwise, are their own experiences and should not be viewed as professional advice. See you next week, and remember, there is a solution.
Stay safe in the city of Chicago.